Good morning. I am Day. DAA are my initials. I am in recovery from loss, grief, trauma, and addiction. In my years of actively pursuing intentional wellness and recovery, I have found that upon awakening, it is useful for me to read daily affirmations, reflections, devotions, and meditations. This podcast is set up so that anyone who does not have the time to read can put on their earbuds and hear daily reflections daily. This is my service to recovery communities. Walk with me on the recovery journey of hope, renewal, resilience, and self reflection. And remember that you are not alone. Fair use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. February 26. No ordinary story. AA is no success story in the ordinary sense of the word. It is a story of suffering transmuted under grace into spiritual progress, as Bill sees it, page 35. Upon entering AA, I listened to others talk about the reality of their drinking, loneliness, terror, and pain. As I listened further, I soon heard a description of a very different kind, the reality of sobriety. It is a reality of freedom and happiness, of purpose and direction, and of serenity and peace with God, ourselves, and others. By attending meetings, I am reintroduced to that reality over and over. I see it in the eyes and hear it in the voices of those around me. By working the program, I find the direction and strength with which to make it mine. The joy of AA is that this new reality is available to me. Fair use. Courage to change one day at a time. In Al Anon. February 26. We all make mistakes, but hopefully, as we apply the Al Anon program and continue to grow in self awareness, we will learn from those mistakes. Amends can be made for any harm we've done, and we can change our behavior and attitude so that we won't repeat the same errors. Thus, even painful past experiences can help us learn to create a better future. The greatest obstacle to this learning process is shame. Shame is an excuse to hate ourselves today for something we did or didn't do in the past. There is no room in a shame-filled mind for the fact that we did our best at the time. No room to accept that as human beings, we are bound to make mistakes. If I feel ashamed, I need a reality check because my thinking is probably distorted. Even though it may take great courage if I share about it with an Al Anon friend, I will interrupt the self destructive thoughts and make room for a more loving and nurturing point of view. With a little help, I may discover that even my most embarrassing moments can bless my life by teaching me to turn in a more positive direction. Today's reminder. Today I will love myself enough to recognize shame as an error in judgment. The ultimate lesson all of us have to learn is unconditional love, which includes not only others but ourselves as well. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. Fair use. Just for today, daily meditations for recovering addicts. February 26. Remorse. The eighth step offers a big change from a life dominated by guilt and remorse. Basic text, page 39. Remorse was one of the feelings that kept us using. We had stumbled our way through active addiction, leaving a trail of heartbreak and devastation, too painful to consider. Our remorse was often intensified by our perception that we couldn't do anything about the damage we had caused. There was no way to make it right. We remove some of the power of remorse when we face it squarely. We begin the eighth step by actually making a list of all the people we have harmed. We own our part in our painful past. But the eighth step does not ask us to make right all of our mistakes, merely to become willing to make amends to all of those people. As we become willing to clean up the damage we've caused, we acknowledge our readiness to change. We affirm the healing process of recovery. Remorse is no longer an instrument we use to torture ourselves. Remorse has become a tool we can use to achieve self-forgiveness. Just for today, I will use any feelings of remorse I may have as a stepping stone to healing through the 12 steps. Fair use. Today, Emotions Anonymous, February 26. Reflection for today. You are not alone. This slogan is so important, yet I often defeat it by my attitude. I cultivate loneliness by refusing to make a telephone call, by avoiding conversations at the EA meeting, or by failing to tell even my best friend how I feel. I say I have no friends. The truth is, I have many friends, but I treat them as strangers. When I am angry, I do not want other people in my life, and yet I blame them for not being there. Meditation for today. May I have the humility to risk inviting others to come a little closer into my life. Today I will remember, I will not nourish my own loneliness by withdrawing from others. Fair use. Strengthening my recovery, meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. February 26. Blame. The principles of ACA are not about blame. BRB, page XXIII. Some of us may have heard the saying that a man without arms can't hug you. Our parents, caregivers were not able to give us what they did not have. The disease of alcoholism or other family dysfunction affects generations and did not start with our immediate family. By working and living the ACA steps, we realized that we too were unable to give what we did not receive as children. We were not shown how to have healthy relationships, how to raise children, or how to avoid feeling less than. Many of us vowed not to repeat the patterns of our parents, but knowing what not to do does not automatically give us the knowledge of a better way. This is our legacy, but it does not have to stay that way. We learn to focus on ourselves instead of being lost and blaming those who couldn't give us what we needed. They could not give us what they did not get themselves. Today, we are led in the direction of reparenting ourselves, taking measures to erase the old tapes in our head and honoring our true self. The affirmation reads, on this day, I choose not to blame others or myself for being unable to give what was never given to me. I feel grateful knowing that I can break the cycle of dysfunction and live a better life. DHB Recovery Network Daily. Please subscribe, like, share, and most of all, be the you that you are created to be, one day at a time.